to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, here we go. This is a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers, also for those who find themselves here with no Pisces anything. So, even if you don't have Pisces, if you resonating hella hard, claim it. The message is yours. I tell you guys that all the time. Claim it. Message is yours. So the topic of this reading, be the badass motherfucker that your mama birthed. Be the badass motherfucker. Seriously. Seriously, Pisces. It's time for you to really step into your true power. Your true power is about your flexible strength. It's not about how like badass you can be defined by society. A true badass has no definition. There are so many different things that it's hard to really pinpoint them as one specific thing. You know what I mean? That's what you are. You have all of these masks that you wear, and all of the masks simply cover up how beautiful and powerful you actually are. Yeah. Yes. It's okay for you to really, really tap into the truth of who and what you are, the truth of what you're here to do. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Yeah, it's okay for you to tap into all of that. A lot of people will criticize you for being all over the place. They'll criticize you for, you know, seeming to have multiple personalities and this and that. You just don't fit a mold. You know what I mean? You don't fit this mold that people try and put you in. You're a fishy. You're not Jello. Okay, what's Jello? Let's tap into this really quick. What is Jello? Do y'all know? I love Jello. I love Jello. I sometimes crave Jello. Why is that? Well, because I crave the collagen. I don't do well with my own collagen, okay? My joints need it, yada yada. That's not even a topic. What is Jello? It's when they boil down all the scraps. The bones, the skin, the hooves, all of these things that they can't actually like sell. They boil it all down, and that's what Jello is. You're not Jello. You're not the juice of the scraps, okay? I love Jello, but we're not Jello. So here goes. Let's get started. Okay. So first off, card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. Beyond what you know yourself to be, the truth of your gravity beats. Okay, this is a rhythm, a pulsating rhythm. With every beat of that truthful heart, you're pushing more of your truth through the veins of society. You are the heart of your circle. Okay, that means you play such an integral role in whatever it is that your circle of friends, your family members, your work circumstance. You play such a huge role in that, in trying to keep the peace. But here's the thing. Sometimes the most peaceful option is to just go ahead and go to war. Why is that? Because sometimes it's in that act of war, social war, whatever war. Sometimes it's in that act of war that you actually begin to remove all the toxic people, all the toxic mindsets, all of that. There needs to be a correction that takes place. That's interesting. So correction is needing to take place within yourself. Like the way you see yourself, the kinds of permission that you give yourself in regards to your existence and the role you play in other people's lives. It's really like this feeling of you need to stop shrinking yourself. You need to stop allowing other people to set the definitions of concepts and filters that you use to view yourself in your life. As long as you continue to do that, And what I mean is, as long as you continue to allow other people to determine all of these things, what happens is you become a pawn. You become nothing more than the means for someone else to manipulate someone else. I don't think so. I don't think so. I've been, that's been kind of a theme for the past, I want to say maybe year. You know, I had a narcissist who, you know, looking back now in hindsight, I can see 2020, but this narcissist at the time was trying to use me to control someone else. And I'm like, this is just weird. I don't just leave them alone. Let them decide for themselves. Oh, because they can't decide for themselves. Blah, blah, blah. Well, but you're not really qualified to make decisions for them either. You know what I mean? Like, your life's pretty fucked up too. The Capricorn in me came up. Yeah, no, your life's pretty fucked up too. So I don't know, you should be deciding for someone else because you didn't do too good for yourself. I'm talking about emotionally mental. I'm not talking about finance. I'm talking about stunted emotional growth. You know, I find that Pisceans have to consistently remind ourselves the people who try and control other people are the very people who are out of control. Don't play games with them. Cut them the fuck off. Nope, you're out. Because what I've learned, being as patient as I am, because I'm very fucking patient, being as patient as I am, those are the people who will continue to do this behavior because this is who they are. This is who they are. Regardless of how they try and paint themselves, this is who they are. You don't need that shit. You really, really don't. You don't need that shit. They're going to continue to do this and use you to do it to other people. And when they can no longer do that, they'll turn around and do it to you. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Think of the one person in your life or was in your life that behaved that way and tell me, did they turn on you at some point and that's why you finally walked away? Why wait for that? Why wait for that? When people show you who they are while they fixate on someone else, believe them, please. Believe them. Believe what they're showing you because they're showing you their truth. Okay? Okay. Yeah, that's how it always happens for me. I try and well, maybe I can encourage them to be more patient. Maybe I can encourage them to be more tolerant. Maybe I can help open their mind. No, girl, you wasting your damn time making projects of people. That's not what you're here for. You're your only project. So card number 34, in the world, not of the world. Just because you can see what's going on with all the other fishies does not mean you're supposed to swim with them. Really let yourself think of what that means. Just because you have the ability to stand on intuitive legs does not mean you're supposed to swim with all the other fishies. It doesn't mean you're supposed to allow yourself to be pushed into being just another fish. You're so much more than that. You're so much more than that. Stop trying to fit in, okay? Like, both of them have their eyes closed. It's this message of you not wanting to see the actual gravity of what you're here to do for yourself. For yourself. Let's not fool ourselves into believing that we're here to save the world. You're not here to save the world. I promise on everything, you're not here to save the world. I'm not here to save the world. I'm here for a huge purpose, but it's not to save the world. Because who the hell do you think you are, thinking you have the authority to dominate billions of other people? There's this thing for regular humans called sovereign free will. You don't get a say in that. They get to decide for themselves if they want to tap into their potential or not. You don't get a say in that, okay? And the moment you embrace this, you will then free yourself to really, really fulfill your purpose, which is being yourself. This journey of returning back home to yourself and allowing other people who choose to, these people who choose to, allowing them the opportunity to witness you collecting all your pieces and putting yourself back together. That is powerful. And it's powerful because of the fact that when they see you do it, with no shame, no guilt, no hesitation, they then begin to realize, oh shit, I can do this for myself too. What the fuck? And that's how the world saves itself. Okay? Let's release this concept that in order to be spiritual, you have to have this mindset, this goal of saving other people. Okay? Jesus had an entire religion, multiple religions created after him in his name. He couldn't even save the world from doing what the fuck we've been doing for 1,000 years. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Are you willing to be crucified? That was the one defining thing when I realized part of my purpose is to help other people choose for themselves to begin terraforming the landscape of their mind and really allowing themselves to evolve consciously, emotionally. And in order for you to evolve, you first have to address all of these internal wounds from birth all the way till now. That's a huge order. Am I saving someone from themselves? No, I'm not. I'm standing as a template that you can personally witness as I go through the motions of my own self-healing. And that's how I do it. That's how I do what I'm here to do. By doing it to myself and allowing you to witness the end result of it. The process all the way up to the end result. I'm not here to save you. I'm here to show you how I save myself. Hoping to inspire you, empower you to do the same for yourself. And one of the things that helped me to really embrace the fact that I'm not here to save anyone else, Michael and I were having a conversation years ago. And I was like, but Michael, how do I save everybody? And he's like, are you willing to be crucified? Fuck no. That was all he had to ask. Are you willing to be crucified? No. Then you're not here to save anyone. Because with the way the human mind works, take a deep breath because this is going to be big. The way the human mind works all the time, it needs to identify an enemy because we exist as a duality still. We always need to identify an enemy in order to give definition to the good, the friend, the family, the love, all of that, okay? That's how the human mind functions for some reason. Now, if you are going to be the very thing that shouts on the mountaintops how other people are messing up, you're probably going to be the first to get crucified because that's what Jesus was doing. That's what he was doing. He was letting everyone know how the Pharisees were fucking up everything. And the people who needed the most support were being tossed aside. People didn't like that. It wasn't Pontius Pilate that crucified him because he didn't want nothing to do with this shit. I think he actually felt bad for Jesus. Like, oh, this poor fucker. This poor guy. He steps on too many toes. I don't want to deal with this shit. So you know what he did? You know what Pontius Pilate did? He went to the people. He went to Jesus's peers and told them, yeah, what do y'all want to do with this guy? And they're the ones who said crucify him. Why is that? Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. When your truth threatens the lie that I'm living, I will attack you to protect my lie because it's too much for me. It's too much for me to accept how far I've fallen from my own grace. So I'll attack you before I look at myself. Ooh, cognitive dissonance. That's why you're not here to save anyone. If you can learn anything from Jesus, that's a big ass lesson to learn. Jesus did not save souls by telling them what to do. Jesus saved by allowing you to witness him being in his most authentic expression of his truth, where he was just speaking and being and allowing you to become inspired and empowered by what he was living through. And it wasn't about, who he was able to build connections with. Because what was he known for? Hanging out with all the people who got rejected by society. Okay? So card number 17, what is already with you? What's already with you? Do you know? Do you know that you already contain within you all the potential you will need for this life and all the other lives you will live? And the journey that you're on within each life is to collect more and more fragments of that potentiality. You're not just collecting the fragments, you're also learning how to utilize what you're retrieving for yourself. There is no point in picking up pieces if you're not going to do anything with those pieces. And that's the problem here. The way we've been living, we keep receiving these tidbits of information, truth, soul recognition, soul family, all these different pieces of us that are contained within us and that are being lovingly held by others who cross our path, and we don't do anything with it. So then what was the point? Well, I meditate. Well, that's good. What do you do in that meditation? Well, I let go. Okay. So you've let go. What do you do next? Empty myself? Okay, perfect. So after you empty yourself, what happens next? I don't know. And it's okay to not know. It's actually a beautiful, powerful thing to not know, because when you don't know, you don't have any preconceived notions as to how this is supposed to play out. You are wide open and emptied. And all you have to do is allow your soul to bring to you the very lessons, people, connections, circumstance that you will need to remember. Because life is a process of remembering all these different spiritual truths that we have for ourselves. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about spiritual ambiguity. I'm talking about you as an individual, as a sovereign soul. You have your own process. And whatever that process is what's right for you. So if that process includes religion, organized religion, it don't matter if Emmie doesn't like religion. You do it. You do that religion. You do whatever you need to do in order to remain connected to your divinity. That's what's important. These people who you'll come across who will tell you like, oh, my favorite term is sheep. If I'm a sheep, who are you? The shepherd? Are you the next to Jesus? Yeah? They crucified that shepherd. I'm just saying. Just friendly reminder. They crucified that shepherd. You want to call everyone sheep, you must be the shepherd. Because the sheep don't know any better. They're just, they're part of the flock. They just do what the flock does. You run, I run. I don't want to get eaten. You run, I run, right? So you eat, I eat. It's just a whole like reflecting the external. When people start talking in terms of like, using those terms of using those terms like sheep and all of that, yeah, I don't know. Be prepared to be crucified by other people. So card number 12, every journey starts with a single step. You have to walk forward in your journey. Assuming you're going to be carried, assuming you don't need to do anything, that everything needs to come to you, that creates stagnation. So if you become stagnant, that's a choice you're making. Maybe not consciously, but you're definitely the most powerful thing in your life. You decide how your life goes. You decide how you're affected by any event. But Emmie, people hurt my feelings. Did they hurt your feelings, or was it your failed expectation that hurt your feelings? Was it because you expected someone to tap into a potential they don't want to tap into that hurt your feelings? Oh, but I see so. Okay, you can see everything you want to see, but again, you can only control you and your life, not someone else's. You can hold a very loving, accepting space, but you cannot hold someone prisoner to your expectation of how their life will go. Okay? Well, but for me, it worked for, okay, they ain't you, baby. They're not you. That would be the equivalent of me saying, well, I can't have any potatoes, any grains, any nightshades, any legumes. I definitely cannot have any like pre-made stuff, so you can't either. Good luck with that shit. I can never eat out, or I'm in pain, so you can't eat out either. Ooh, that's not going to go over well for most people. Card number 3, defend to the end the worthwhile. You're worth the fight. I will say that every single time this card comes up, unless my heart tells me it's a different message. Every single card, every single time this card comes up, I will remind you, you are worth the fight. You are worth going to war for. You are worth whatever you have to endure in order to reach a higher level of consciousness and knowing of your worth. You are worth it. And if you think that, it's bad because nothing good ever happens for me, and why am I always hurting, and why... Life is not necessarily just for pleasure and enjoyment. That's a very toddlerhood logic. Okay? Pain is the greatest teacher you will have in this life. Ever. It's the greatest teacher you will ever have in this life. Learn the lessons. But everything keeps happening over and over. It's the same thing. Why do I attract all of these bad people? I read the most profound thing several weeks ago. You attract everything. I'm just paraphrasing. You attract everything. And once you've attracted things, you choose to focus only on the negatives. That's a choice that's being made. If you don't like that, the feeling, the result of that choice, make a different choice. It's very simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. Simple and easy are two different things. Simple and easy. Two different things. Okay? So, card number 2, inner trust. Trust yourself in the process that you're in. Plain and simple. Trust yourself in the process that you're in. That's powerful. Powerful. So here you are covering up all your greatness, and here's the truth of what's under that veil. That's powerful. Protected in all directions by very divine beings, wrapped in wings of protection and love. Ooh, wisdom for your crown. Ooh. And then you cover it with a veil. Because, heaven forbid everyone see this greatness that's hard to understand. Let's just cover it up so we can be like everyone else. How's that working so far? Is that working? Card number 6, shock of the new. Things are about to change. And these changes that are about to happen really serve your growth. They really, really, really serve your growth. It's time for you to start speaking up. Allowing the words to first be filtered through the heart before they are expressed as words. Filtering it through the heart does not mean the words will come out gently. It means that whatever is said is based in love, and love has the power to destroy just as easily as it can rebuild. And true love will only ever destroy the parts of you that have become resistant to your own process. I have been seeing non-stop this concept of love is the answer. Love is the answer. It could be. It absolutely could be. What's your definition of love? If your definition of love is that fractionated, fluffy, I'm going to support you and love you, and, like the really sweet aspects of love, then no, you're being lied to. You're being lied to. That's not the answer. That is enablement. That is codependency. That is turning a blind eye to the truth that this is hurting you. Unnecessarily. So what kind of love am I talking about? I'm talking about Omni love. Omni love has all its fractals and facets intact. That means if I love you, I can reflect back to you the very things that you probably need to adjust within yourself without me telling you to adjust it. Being this divine mirror to allow other people to see how the behaviors affect you and how it feels by reflecting it back. You're not going to do this for everybody, but just knowing that if you love someone truly, you can be honest, not just fluffy honest, but brutally honest when it's necessary. That's love. Or that brutal honesty, when it's necessary, that's a key component. When it's necessary, can tear down all of this, this like pretty decoration on the outside of a brick wall. Have you ever seen something like that where it's a brick wall. Brick wall is a brick wall. But on the outside, they adorn it so beautifully, and it doesn't seem like a brick wall anymore. It seems like something ornate, something like a gilded cage. And your love, when it's time to be free, it can tear down that wall for someone else. It can tear down all of these pretenses and like, what the heck is it called? I just had a brain fart. My brain is empty. Hold on, you guys. Michael is saying something. Ooh, that's deep. So he's having me hear like birds chirping and singing, right? And I'm like, what does this mean? And then I see a cage door opening and all the birds stop singing. What does that mean? Right before your freedom is actually given back to you, you have a tendency to go mute. So if conversations have stopped between you and another person, if you've kind of gone mute in your life, there's a high probability that you're about to experience a freedom from that situation, a freedom from whatever oppression you've been experiencing, enduring. Your freedom is very sacred. It is. It's very, very sacred. Freedom is sacred to every single living sentient being. That includes animals. It includes plants. Plants are sentient. I don't want to get into it. Science is starting to uncover that plants can feel and communicate with each other. It's very interesting stuff. Card number 27, receiving. Allow yourself to receive the very messages that your soul wants and needs you to have. This is about drinking from your own cup. Stop thinking your cup is empty. If you're going to think that, you have to allow yourself to take the next step in that thought. Refill it. It's not enough to simply identify that your cup has been emptied. And being empty is not a bad thing. I believe it was Bruce Lee who was quoted as saying, the cup is at its most useful when it's emptied. And that's a very, very beautiful, beautiful sentiment, because of the fact that every time I meet someone, who, you know, is interested in taking my classes, you know, they want to learn more about energy work and yada, yada. They often end that conversation or that statement with, oh, but I don't know anything. I haven't, you know, like, you know, can I take these classes because I don't know anything? I'm like, it's fucking perfect. Because I don't need to waste time trying to convince you that what you learned that was a half-truth delivered by draconian teachings is a half-draconian truth. No, it's perfect, because now you're free to actually receive the teachings that I'm giving and really like think about it. That's perfect. An emptied cup is so useful for you and your growth, because once it's emptied, toxicity is gone. It's gone. It's been emptied out. You can refill that cup with whatever you want. Unfortunately, many of us choose to refill it with more toxicity from different people, from different teachings, all of that. Card number 25, release a dark wound, let love live. Let go of that rotting fish within you. Don't worry, you're two fish. You are two fish. Let go of the one that's rotten. Let go of the one that's taken on all the pain from your entire life as you've lived as a highly sensitive empath. Let that fish go. It's done its job. It's done its job. It's taken in all the toxicity from every single person you've come across. Every person you've felt badly for. You've taken in their toxicity. You've lightened their load. Why do you think everyone wants to talk to you all the time? Answer yourself that. Why does everyone want to talk to me all the time? Complete strangers talk to me on the streets. Why is that? Because you're a sponge, baby. You're a sponge. You take in other people's pain. You take in other people's traumas and you carry it. That is not your job. It's not. It's really, really not. I wonder if there's a statistic that will show the zodiac signs of people who have developed cancer, especially reproductive cancers. I wonder how many of them have Pisces in their chart as a dominant energy. I wouldn't be surprised if a large portion of them do. Because what is the most loving thing a Piscean can do? Take in all your pain. Take in all of your pain and own it so that it's not given back to you to make you feel better. Here's the thing, Pisces, that is a loving thing to do, but at the same time, no, it's not. Because a lot of the people, if you just take in their pain and now they feel better and they haven't identified what that pain is, how it entered, who injected it into them, all you've done is cleared more space for more pain to enter. That's not loving. That's enablement. Enablement. So now you're both hurting. You're both being physiologically affected, because after a period of time, and it's a different period for each person, that pain is going to begin to permeate your cellular expression. It's a distorted type of energy. Very, very distorted. And when you allow that distortion to really, really sit and commingle with your cells, depending on where you store your pain, it begins to affect the cellular expression of your DNA. What does that mean? Cancer, tumors. Very serious, very, very serious physiological disease. What the hell is Emmie talking about? This is bullshit. Oh, I beg to differ. I did it to myself. I did it to myself. I grew a tumor the size of a thumb. Medically confirmed. And when I realized what I was doing, when they checked again, it was gone. And that's how I learned. That's how I learned what we do as Pisceans to harm ourselves in exchange for someone's, little bit of comfort for a few days. Because again, many of us are addicted to pain and suffering. Let's just be real here. Many of us cannot stand when everything is too calm, when everything is just good. Many of us will look for other people who are hurting in the way that we need a hit of, and then we'll save them. No, you're just looking for a hit. I can say this because I was doing that for a very, very, very long time. Very long time. Do you know that you're doing that too? Are you doing that? I mean, really ask yourself that. Card number 28, collaborative dreaming. It's difficult when you're the only one awake. Do you remember being a child and being the first one to wake up and laying there bored out of your mind, looking for something to do? And then eventually just falling back asleep because no one's awake. Be careful that you're not still doing that in your adult life. Through your spiritual journey. Be careful you're not still doing that, okay? So I'm going to pull 3 more cards. What time is it? Oh, I gotta get going. There we go. Excuse me. Yo, I caught myself trying to manipulate the cards. I saw 10 of Cups upside down and I was like, oh, well, let me cut the deck in half and then rotate. Bitch. Bitch, don't be trying to hook people up like that. That's a fucking lie. Don't do that. Don't be manipulative like that. So I had to just turn everything, Oh my God, I cannot believe I did that. There it is, the Piscean in me. I want to give you guys a good ending. No, give them the truth. That's good enough. Oh my God. Okay. So here's the thing. I did see that card upside down. I did begin to, when I realized what I was doing, all the cards, because I don't want to be manipulative like that. Oh, but no, you guys need truth, not no sugar-coated bullshit. But here's the thing, when you begin to call yourself out on your own bullshit, and it doesn't have to be publicly, but just recognizing, oh, girl, you're doing that shit again, don't do it. Everything suddenly begins to fall back into place. Everything suddenly begins to realign, and the truth comes out. At the end of the day, at the bottom of everything, 10 of Cups, happiness, good things, party or celebration. Celebrate your healing. Because when you begin to call yourself out on the things that you're doing to further complicate your perception and your journey, that's a very healing thing. How many of us are strong enough in ourselves to be able to call ourselves out? How many of us? Do you understand the amount of self-confidence, self-love, and owning of my journey for me to be able to say on a public live stream, girl, you up to your bullshit again. Don't be trying to manipulate no fucking cards like that. I mean, yeah. Owning your journey is a powerful thing. Owning your little quirks that you're still working. I'm going to forever work on me not trying to create the best possible outcome for everyone. So you can avoid the pain. You can avoid the feeling of oh, I feel bad for... Sometimes you got to feel bad for yourself to get yourself out of whatever bullshit you got yourself into. Sometimes that's the very thing that really... Okay. At least we got the 10 of Cups. Yeah. All right, here we go. Ace of Swords in reverse, debacle, tyranny, disaster, self-destruction, violent temper, infertility. Pisces, when you're in denial about the sword being in reverse like this, I mean, really, okay? You're stabbing your own heart. Stop. No more. Just stop. Just because you're already bleeding does not mean you have to continue driving that dagger deeper into your chest. That's a lie. You don't have to ram it deeper and deeper and deeper until the freaking crossbar arm hand guard shit hits the chest. And at no point do you turn that blade so that it's a gaping open wound. That's not okay. Stop martyring yourself. Stop convincing yourself that you should hurt because you exist. Nothing in creation was ever mandated where, as a Piscean, you have to make up for your existence for the rest of your life. That's a fucking lie. That is a lie. Stop believing the words that come out of the mouths of liars. They can't even tell themselves the truth, so I'm pretty sure they can't tell you the truth either. Stop believing them. One of the things that I came to realize was that whatever I choose for myself is something that I choose for myself. I can't turn around and be like, oh, because you made me feel that way. No? Yeah? Okay. Hold on.
Make me feel better with you, man.
I'm making you feel You need some ministry. Hold on. 3 cards left. Judgment. Judgment. Okay. So judgment in reverse. You can decide whatever. Everything is still up in the air. There's nothing ever set in stone. Okay? Whatever you decided at first can always be changed. You can change your mind. You have the right to. Wands. Let me see. Severity, austerity, somewhat excessive and exaggerated ideas, dogmatic, deliberate. Your soul is calling you out. You're so severe with yourself. You're excessive and exaggerated in your ideas. You're deliberate in the pain you cause yourself. That needs to stop. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, we got the Emperor in reverse. Immaturity, ineffectiveness, indecision, weakness of character, failure to control petty emotions. Just because you mess up, just because you perceive yourself having messed up, does not mean you have to continue attacking yourself. At the end of all of this is 10 of Cups. This was at the very bottom of the deck. At some point, you're going to choose to retrieve your 10 Cups. Not only will you choose to retrieve your 10 Cups, you're going to choose to refill them. Here's the thing about creation. When things get emptied, they have to be refilled. Creation doesn't like voids to exist. So when you empty yourself and you don't consciously choose what you will refill yourself with, who chooses for you what you're refilled with? The very people who you give power to put into your field, your mind, your heart, your emotions, whatever they choose. Those are the people who will refill your cup. Refill it with encouragement, support, love, or refill it with toxicity, self-hatred, further distorted beliefs. That's really up to them, right? Because you're giving them that type of authority. How about this? Take that authority back. Choose for yourself what you're going to refill your cup with. Choose for yourself how you're going to see yourself from now on. And I promise you, however bad you think you are, you're not that bad. You're really not that bad. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm the kind of girl who could tell you to your face, yes, I called you a bitch because you've been acting like one. True story. Oh, I heard you call me a bitch. Yeah, I did. Because you've been acting like one. I don't appreciate you as a person. True story from high school. Yeah. I did. I called you a bitch. What if I make the wrong decision? Wrong by whose standards? Whose definition? Who defined wrong? Whose ideals are you using to live your life, which is nothing near what their life is? Every wrong decision that I've made has taken me further down my path. This path of learning myself, understanding myself, retrieving more of my own truth. So in hindsight, were they wrong decisions? No, they were stepping stones. Nothing more. Stepping stones. I'm just saying. People want to volunteer to be stepping stones through your river of life. They can't then get mad that you stepped on them. I'm joking. Don't step on people. Don't intentionally step on people. But here's my logic. I won't intentionally step on anyone. Like, I don't do that shit. That's just ugly. But if I'm driving down my own lane and you try and stick your foot into my lane, you can't then get mad that I ran over your foot. Fuck out of my lane. Very simple. Very simple. I'm just heading towards myself. You want to try and stick your foot in my lane and you get run over? That's your bad. That's your bad. Well, why? Well, because why the fuck would you stick your foot in my lane? To trip me? You got what you got. Boom. There you go. So, all right, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. If you're interested in an update on mis hermanos, my brother, I did a very, very short video before this. Please continue to share out his GoFundMe. We are really, really, really needing your support. I'm not going to get into it in this video. All right, guys, I'll be live again soon. Thank you for your continued support. And for those of you who look for me when I'm gone, I'm having a breakdown. I'm joking. Those are times where your soul is giving you an opportunity to really dive within yourself and apply what you've learned for yourself. Not what I've taught you, but what you've learned for yourself by simply being present as I go through my own journey. You got this. I'm no better than you. You got this. And every time you fall, think of it as a deep sumo squat. Okay? Just pick your ass back up. That's it. It's good. Bye, guys.